Look in the eye. Look in the eyes.
の目を静止する。
He couldn't have looked her straight in the eye if he'd had any evil intent on her. Hold true.
当てはまる。有効である。
To try to emphasize with others, this basic rule holds true no matter what our belief is. Come to terms with.
と折り合いがつく。諦めて何々を受け入れる。
He's trying hard to come to terms with the earlier life he'd lived recklessly. Come to light.
明るみに出る。現れる。
It came to light that some athletes had been gambling at illegal casinos. Come of age.
法律的に成人になる。
In most countries of the world, people legally come of age at 18. Come in handy.
役に立つ。
She studied Chinese, assuming a knowledge of it would come in handy for getting a job. Fall short of.
目標、基準などに達しない。
We did our best to succeed, but the project fell short of our goal. Go a long way to do.
何々するのに大いに役立つ。
Knowing a few words of the country you travel to goes a long way to make your trip more enjoyable. Pave the way for. Pave the way to.
への準備をする。道を開く。
By signing an unfair contract, the boss paved the way for the bankruptcy of his company. Put to use.
を利用する。
The ability to create knowledge and put it to good use is the key characteristic of humans. Stand to reason.
最もである。理屈に合う。
It stands to reason that children should be independent of their parents after a certain age. See the sights. See the sights of. Do the sights. Do the sights of.
観光をする。の観光をする。
I'm really looking forward to seeing the sights of your country on my trip next month. Read between the lines.
行間を読む。真意をつかむ。
Her letter doesn't communicate much, but reading between the lines, I can tell she is sad. Follow suit.
人の真似をする。洗礼に習う。
John's company has introduced a new product, but rival firms are expected to follow suit soon. Play a joke on.
に、悪意のないいたずらをする。
When we were in junior high, we often played jokes on our history teacher. Get on somebody's nerves.
の神経に触る。
The noise from the nearby construction site is getting on my nerves, and I can't concentrate. Get the better of. Have the better of.
に、勝つ。を出し抜く。
No one can get the better of her in an argument. Get even with. Be even with.
人に仕返しをする。恨みを晴らす。
Bob wants to get even with Al for bullying him. Hold in check. Keep in check.
を抑える。食い止める。
The traditional way to learn to keep our emotions in check is to sit and meditate. Have an eye for.
に対する眼識。鑑識力がある。
You need to have an eye for color and style if you want to be a fashion designer. Have on one's mind.
を気にしている。心配している。
To finish my thesis in time, I've had only this on my mind all these 3 months. Have yet to do.
まだ何々していない。これから何々しなければならない。
Mariko says that though she speaks some French, she has yet to visit France. Dare to do.
思い切って、あえて何々する。
I'm glad my mother never knew how high I dared to climb. Impose A on B. Impose A upon B.
A を B に課す、押し付ける。
The government is reportedly considering imposing a new tax on us to fund its post-epidemic activities. Ascribe A to B.
A を B のせいにする。
He ascribed his failure in the examination to bad luck. Bring A home to B.
A、ある事柄を B、人に痛感させる。
This incident brought home the importance of studying hard to Mayu. Section 5.
形容詞句、副詞句。
A variety of.
1、同一種類のもので、いろいろ、様々な。
The owner carefully displayed a variety of products in order to appeal to shoppers.
2、の一種、一つの型。
Golden rice is a variety of rice produced through genetic engineering. A handful of.
一握りの、少数の、少量の。
A handful of giant corporations dominate the worldwide industry of computer services. A host of.
多数の。
At the time, the family was faced with a host of difficulties, including financial ones. Scores of.
多数の。
Today, as on any given day, scores of drones are launched and landed at the seashore nearby. Many a. Many an.
多くの。あまたの。
I'm glad to hear many a student wants to study abroad nowadays. Quite a few.
かなりの数の。
I've read quite a few self-help books in my life and learned a lot from them. All manner of.
あらゆる種類の。
Wildlife rangers find all manner of items, including toothbrushes, in dead animals' stomachs. On one's own. All on one's own.
すべて、自分一人で。すべて、独力で。
He's the type who prefers to do things on his own rather than to work with others. At issue.
問題の。論争中の。論争中で。
What is at issue here is not whether disasters on that scale will occur, but when they will. At somebody's disposal.
人の自由になって。人の自由に使えて。
Yuta has on average 5,000 yen at his disposal as pocket money each month. At stake.
危うくなった。危うくなって。かけられた。かけられて。
With so much at stake, we cannot afford to make mistakes. To go around. Enough to go around.
全員に行き渡るだけの。
My mother asked me to check if there were enough chairs to go around for the party. Every other.
1、一つおきの。何々おきに。
To help pay for tuition, I'm working part-time at a supermarket every other weekend.
2、残りのすべての。
I noticed then that every other adult on the train was staring at his or her own smartphone. For a rainy day.
将来の、まさかの時、緊急時に備えて。
Joe has little money at his disposal and little to save for a rainy day. In earnest.
本格的に、熱心に。
It started to rain in earnest soon after I left the office. In shape. In good shape.
調子が良くて。
If you want to keep yourself in good shape, you need to exercise every day. In store. In store for.
用意して。のために、用意して。降りかかろうとして。のみに、降りかかろうとして。
She apparently came to the party not expecting such a surprise was in store for her. In the works.
準備、計画、進行中で。
Another book by the same author is in the works for publication soon. Nothing short of.
まさしく何々の。
The patient's recovery was quick, and even the doctors thought this was nothing short of a miracle. Of one's own.
自分自身の。
Jack is staying with his friend for the time being until he finds a place of his own. Of one's doing. Of one's own doing.
人が何々した。
He seems to be in trouble again, but all those problems are of his own making. On the move.
忙しく移動中の。忙しく移動中で。活躍中の。活躍中で。
Don't you think we need a law or something to control smartphone use by people on the move? On the side.
何々気味で。何々気味の。
Her husband is a nice-looking man who is a little on the lean side. Out of hand.
1. 手に負えない。
We have to make sure that things don't get out of hand.
2. 即座に。
A boy asked a question, but the chairman dismissed it out of hand. Out of the question.
ありえない。不可能で。
Our pet dog is old, so using stairs is out of the question. Per capita.
一人当たりの。一人当たりで。
In the last 40 years, the per capita income of Americans has more than doubled. Right as rain.
すっかり健康、正常で。
Erina is right as rain now. In fact, she's already started taking some dance classes. Second to none.
誰にも劣らない。何にも劣らない。
As far as math is concerned, Rupert is second to none in his class. Something of a.
ちょっとした。ある程度の。
She is something of a singer, but her songs are now behind the times. Upward of. Upwards of.
何々以上。何々以上の。
Upwards of 95% of our company's workers are university graduates. Section 6.
前置式、接続式、名式。
Regardless of.
何々にかかわらず、何々にもかかわらず、に関係なく。
Regardless of the weather, we'll hold the tennis tournament as planned. In accordance with.
に従って、に応じて。
In accordance with her instructions, I went to see him myself. In proportion to.
に比例して。
As an incentive, the winners were paid in proportion to their number of victories. In the wake of.
の通過後に、の後に、の結果として。
There was heavy damage in this area in the wake of the typhoon. As of.
何々現在で、の時点で。
As of noon today, more students than the designated number have already signed up. But for.
がないならば。
Our project would definitely have ended in failure, but for his earnest support. On. Terms with.
何々と何々の関係、間柄で。
Jimmy has been on friendly terms with me for many years. On the verge of.
をしそうで。の瀬戸際で。
It's hard, exclaimed one student, on the verge of tears. Within walking distance of.
から歩いて行けるところに。
Do you know if there is a post office within walking distance of the station? To the effect that.
何々という趣旨の。何々という趣旨で。
His words were a bit vague, but we thought they were to the effect that he'd be absent. A case in point.
適例
Its latest performance is a case in point. The city promises a quick response, but takes months. The pros and cons.
賛否両論
The panelists discussed the pros and cons of using English as the sole language for higher education. A white elephant.
無用の長物
The summer cottage my grandparents used to go to has become a complete white elephant. The elephant in the room.
誰も触れたがらない話題
When we met, the elephant in the room was the topic of their son having lost the election. Part and parcel. Part and parcel of.
不可分の要素の不可分の要素最重要部分の最重要部分
I think the fact I have to work irregular hours is part and parcel of being a journalist. Section 7.
純然たる粛々
All along.
最初からずっと
I realized that he had known all along about their purpose in joining in our trip. All too.
とても非常に
Our summer vacation has come to an end all too soon. As such,
そういうものとしてそれ自体では
after all, he is the leader of a community and should be evaluated as such. First hand. At first hand.
直接に直に
Touch is the most active sense through which we experience the outer world firsthand. At somebody's convenience.
の都合の良い時に
They suggested that he come to their firm at his convenience. At short notice. On short notice.
急に即座に
It is generally thought to be rude for a lot of friends to visit a person at short notice. At will.
思いのままに随意に
During the day, the children were allowed to run around in the park at will. By and large.
概して
By and large, the new measures announced by the government were well accepted. Down the road.
やがては将来は
If you leave the situation as it is, I fear you'll have a big problem down the road. Early on.
早い時期に早くから
Having discovered early on that he lacked the talent, he gave up the dream of becoming an artist. For a change.
気分転換にたまには
I've become a bit tired of this game. How about trying something new for a change? For all I know.
よくは知らないが多分
I saw him playing here a couple of hours ago. He may have gone home for all I know. For nothing.
1無料で
If you buy one item, you can't get another for nothing.
2無駄に
He tried very hard, but all he did was for nothing. If anything.
どちらかといえばもしあるとしても
At first, I didn't think it would be difficult. If anything, I took it to be simple. In a row.
連続して
With today's victory, the Tigers have now won 3 games in a row. In person.
代理人でなく直に自ら
In that study, thousands of people were polled either in person or online. In retrospect.
過去を振り返って過去を振り返ってみて
In retrospect, we should have made our plan more detailed and better thought out. More often than not.
普通は大抵
More often than not, a smile, the universal symbol of happiness, is used as a mask. On second thought.
考え直してみて
At first I thought I liked the plan, but on second thought, I decided to oppose it. On the face of it.
見たところは、表面上は、
On the face of it, there are striking similarities between our plan and theirs. On the spot.
1、その場で、即座に、
He liked the painting on display the moment he saw it and decided to buy it on the spot.
2、窮地に立って、困って、
The interviewer's question put the politician on the spot. Once for all. Once and for all.
きっぱりと、これを最後に、
When Rosemary comes back, I'll do my best to settle the matter with her once and for all. One of these days.
そのうちに、
We're all hoping her endless efforts will bear rich fruit one of these days. Once upon a time.
昔々、
Once upon a time, there lived even in this area various kinds of dinosaurs. Only two.
1、とても、大いに、
I told him that I'd be only too pleased to write a letter of recommendation to the firm.
2、遺憾、残念ながら、
We know only too well that things don't go the way we've planned them to. Sort of. Kind of.
ちょっと、なんとなく、
Before I'd jogged even a few kilometers, I was already getting sort of out of breath. Such as it is.
大したものではないが、こんな程度のものだが、
You are welcome to use my dictionary, such as it is. The other way around. The other way round. The other way about.
逆に、あべこべに、
To screw a lid on a bottle, we turn it clockwise, but to unscrew it, the other way around. To date.
現在まで、現在までのところ、
Scientists are eagerly trying to develop a vaccine for the new virus, but to no avail to date.